If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what is a grenade in the world of in-home sales and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So here's the thing. When we talk about a grenade, there's really two parts to this. So there's going to be two parts to this video, not one, two. And here's the thing. A grenade is a bad sales call. It's a bad lead. But what you're going to want to stick around on the second half of the video is to find out how this label can hurt your sales process. And one of the most common mistakes that salespeople make and technicians and anybody who's even in the service industry where you're selling something. I want to let you know something from the very beginning. If you get caught up too much in this, it will ruin your sales process. So there is a caveat, there is a warning, and I want to give it to you from the very beginning. Anytime that you start looking at leads, it can easily come into a complaint session, a worry session, an upset session. And if you don't define this from the very beginning, what ends up happening is you get poisoned and it creates a huge problem for you, okay? So with that being said, a grenade in in-home sales and leads is a call that you don't necessarily want to run, right? You read the notes, you read the information, and you look at it and you're like, not this again, not this house, not this person, not this equipment, not this problem. I just don't want to deal with it. Now, here is something that you need to know that's super importante, super important. Whatever objection that you take into the call is typically the one that you're going to get because you're going to talk around it. It's going to be the issue that you talk yourself into through the presentation, which in turn talks your buyer into it. And you need to understand this because a lot of times I work with salespeople, I work even with entrepreneurs, and they go, oh man, you know what I hope doesn't happen? Well, their nightmare scenario happens because they danced around it and they pre-framed it and they talked about all the things that they don't want. So what did they get? They got more of what they didn't want, okay? So be aware that when you go into I ran a grenade mode, this conversation really needs to happen after you run the lead, not before. And this is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. What that means for you is private coaching, private training in the group, or discounted coaching and discounted training in the group. It pays for all my cool toys, my 40 Stay Stoked Hawaii TNC surf shirts, my Aloha shirts going to Hawaii. But you need to know is how you look at your lead before you go to it and how you talk about it really does matter. And what you want to do is have the discussion after you run the lead, not before. So like if you call your buddy and you're like, dude, I'm running on this call, right? And it's a grenade. Chances are pretty good that call is going to be a grenade. If you call your friend, you're like, dude, I'm running a call. I'm happy I have a lead, right? That's the better way to do it. So whatever your version of a grenade is, it could be a neighborhood, it could be a type of house, it could be a system you got to work on, it could be the notes. If you front load this information and say, I don't want to run this, you are going to do the bare minimum. And the problem with that is when you run a lead and you do the bare minimum, you typically get bad results, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, which means that you call up your buddy, you're like, dude, I told you before I got there, I ran a grenade, and now I ran a grenade. And then what happens is you pull out your phone and you look at the next call and you're like, oh man, another grenade. So how you frame your calls matters, and why this is why it's important for you to make a deal with your friends to call you out, right? Here's the second half of the call. You need to have a good friendship with somebody who calls you out and says, hey, buddy, pal, friend, chief, like this isn't working. You need to like reset your mind, right? What if it's not? What if it's not the leads? What if it's you? What if it's me, right? I go through this too. I look at some of the lead source and the deal flow that I get for dealing with entrepreneurs and dealing with business owners. And I look, and then when I start going, grenade, I'm like, I gotta practice what I preach. I gotta tell people, hey, look, what if this isn't? You got to make what you can out of the lead. And if you've got really good friends, they're going to say, hey, look, it's a grenade after the call, not before. Okay. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it. And every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. Hit follow if this is social media. And last of all, tag or share this with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.